Hey guys, John Hennessey, and today I'm going to do a test drive in one of our specially tuned Dodge Hellcat Challengers. And this particular vehicle has our HPE850 upgrade, and it has a few other goodies which you'll hear about and we'll discuss while I'm driving the vehicle. But it's got 20-inch dyno drag radials, which every Hellcat should have from the factory, kind of like the Demon. And this also has a special exhaust modification that we'll get into when I drive it. So just going to do a few laps around the track here, maybe a quick little blast down the highway. This is not the kind of car for my windy little country test road, but we build a lot of Hellcats. We probably build 2 or 3 every week, and it's a vehicle that I just haven't had a chance to go do a test drive in. So let me go jump in behind the wheel and give you a few impressions and tell you what it's all about. Thanks. Okay, here we are out at Lone Star Motorsports Park, our quarter-mile drag strip that we own next to the shop here in Sealy, Texas, just outside of Houston. And I mean, honestly, come on, who does not love the Hellcat? I mean, how can you not love a car from the factory that comes with 707 horsepower? When the Hellcat first came out, I thought, you know what, that's probably going to be so much power for most of these guys. Nobody's going to want to modify a Hellcat. Well, it didn't take long to get a few phone calls, and people would call and say, hey, what can you do to my Hellcat? Then, kind of like the other vehicles that we modify, at one point in time, somebody brings one in and we start tinkering with it. And we discovered that, you know, the first 100 horsepower in the Hellcat's pretty easy. It's basically a modified supercharger with a different pulley to increase the boost. It only increases the boost about 3 pounds. And retune the computer, air intake, modify the blower, belt, dyno tune it. Picks up about 100 of the wheels. And so we're talking about going from stock, a Hellcat will make manual or automatic. They make about 630 to the wheels, and they'll go to 730. We've seen some as high as 740 to the wheels. I mean, that's a lot of power. And other cars, we've got to do a lot of modifications to get that kind of a power increase. So I'm just going to do a little warm-up lap here, just to put a little heat in the tires and the brakes. So when we test our cars here at the track, when the track is not prepped, we run in the opposite direction. So I'm actually running towards the starting line. So if you're watching the video and you're like, what the heck is he doing? There's a method to our madness. We like actually having just bare asphalt, like on the street, back where we're accelerating from. So you know, again, before we get into the details and the modifications and the driving impression on what the car's about, I mean, it's, you know, it drives like stock. I mean, and again, what's not to like about the Hellcat? Well, I'll tell you, the interior is like, it's really cheap. That's really my only knock against the Hellcat. I mean, the performance per dollar, it's comfortable. Yeah, sure, it's big, it's heavy. There are other cars that are lighter, but you know what? This car will still probably beat him in a drag race anyway. And if those other cars are fast around a road course, the Hellcat doesn't really care, because when I tell people, they say, well, what's special about the Hellcat? Well, it's like a living room. It's like driving your living room couch with a jet engine. That's my description of the Hellcat. And I like that. I like my living room couch. I like having my big TV, which happens to be the open road. And you can have a lot of fun with these cars, again, in stock form. This particular car with our 850 upgrade is crazy. I mean, it's going to be 10 miles an hour faster in the quarter mile. This particular car has drag radial, so it'll easily drop it deep into the 10s in the quarter mile. No, it's not as fast as the Demon, but we'll talk about the Demon later. The Demon's got a lot of really trick stuff from Dodge that the aftermarket can't just install a trans brake. That can be done, but it's expensive, and it would basically relegate it to a drag car. So we're just talking within the confines of, you know, Hellcat versus modified Hellcat versus ZL1s and Mustangs and Camaros and things of that nature. Okay, so we're just going to do a little roll on here. Oh yeah. 134, which is a good speed for the back of our track. Now, let me show you another cool little modification that we offer. We don't advertise it a whole lot, but it really works really well on this particular car. So this car, and this particular car also has headers. That's an option with high flow cats that we offer on the Hellcats. They pick up a little bit of power, maybe 15 or 20 horsepower at the wheels, but they do add a nice sound. But this particular car has exhaust cutouts. Okay, I'm gonna hit the open button. Ooh, yeah. Hear that sound? Daddy likes it. So the exhaust cutouts are basically electronic valves that sit right before the rear mufflers. So if you want some more noise, you know, if you want to be the cool dad in the pickup line at your kid's grade school, which I got a chance to do about 10 years ago. I had a Cadillac wagon, my Hammer wagon that I had dumps on. I could show up with the, you know, kind of mellow stealth wagon, and then hit the dumps, and all of a sudden people are looking around for you know, Joey Logano in his cup car. Makes a pretty big difference in sound. So we'll give it a roll on here with the dumps open and see what the sound differential sounds like. And your mark, get set. $137. Everybody loves a louder car. When you want it to be louder, you want it to be quieter, just grab your little key fob, hit the close button, and quieter it is. Alright, so we'll do a standing start down here, and nothing too crazy. We're not going to do any big nasty burnouts or super hard launches. This is a client's car, so I need to put a few test miles on it before we ship it off so he can have some fun with it. Alright, we'll do the dumps open again. I think I like that better. We're not going to launch it too hard, but drag radio, you can probably launch this car even on the street, maybe 3,500 RPM pretty aggressively. I'm not going to mess with the traction control. Yeah, take that back. Let's turn it off. It's no fun to have the traction control on. Traction control is off. All right. Yep. Didn't want to spin the tires there. Again, we're not doing a burnout. We're just going to maybe we'll go $3 grand. Little bog and go. Little no lift shift for 3 to 4. 134. Yeah, the other thing I love about the Hellcat is you can just beat the piss out of it all day long. The guys at FCA SRT did a great job in designing a supercharger system that has great capacity. So it has the ability to dissipate heat, whether you're drag racing, road racing. Not that you're going to road race one of these cars, but you could. You'd have a hard time through the corners, but you wouldn't lose a lot of horsepower because of heat soak. I like that about a car. There are other cars. I mean, for instance, the LT4. I love the LT4, and the Z01 and the Z06 and the Z06 Corvettes. They get hot easily. I mean, we have things that we do to upgrade that and reduce that effect. But when you've got a physically larger displacement supercharger, like you do in the case of the Hellcat, that helps dissipate that heat. All right, one more time. What else should we discuss? We could talk a lot about the Demon, and there's a lot of news coming about the Demon, as well as other things that we're doing with the Hellcats, higher horsepower packages. We'll save that for a later video. One more hit and we'll be done. $138. Do it all day long. Thanks for tuning in.